Presidents, founding fathers, war heroes. Some of the most powerful men and women in American history built their legacies in public and hid their deepest secrets in private. Secret letters, hidden children, affairs that nearly toppled governments. These aren't rumors. These are documented historical facts, hiding in plain sight in the history books if you know where to look. Here are 15 scandalous love affairs that actually changed the course of American history. Long before tabloids and social media, scandal traveled by letter, by whisper, and by newspaper, slower but often far more consequential. A single affair could end a political career, split a family fortune, or in some cases, quietly reshape the direction of the country itself. Some of these affairs were exposed during the lifetime of the people involved. Others stayed buried for over a century, only confirmed decades later through letters, diaries, or in one famous case, DNA testing. Let's get into it. America's first major political sex scandal. In 1791, founding father Alexander Hamilton began an affair with Maria Reynolds. Her husband then blackmailed him for money to keep it quiet. When accused of financial corruption years later, Hamilton did something almost no politician would dare today. He published a 95-page pamphlet admitting the affair in humiliating detail, just to prove he hadn't misused government funds. It saved his financial reputation but permanently damaged his political career. One of the most significant and long-disputed relationships in American history. Thomas Jefferson, author of the Declaration of Independence, had a decades-long relationship with Sally Hemings, an enslaved woman at his Monticello estate. For nearly 200 years, the Jefferson family denied it. In 1998, DNA testing confirmed a genetic link between Jefferson's male line and Hemings' descendants, and most historians now accept the relationship as fact. Not a scandal of infidelity, but of scandalous timing. Andrew Jackson married Rachel before her divorce from her first husband was legally finalized, an honest mistake, but one his political enemies used against him for the rest of his life, branding Rachel publicly as a bigamist and adulteress. The stress of the attacks is widely believed to have contributed to Rachel's death, just weeks after Jackson won the presidency in 1828. During his 1884 presidential campaign, it came out that bachelor candidate Grover Cleveland had fathered a child with a woman named Maria Halpin. His opponents chanted, "Ma, Ma, where's my pa?" in the streets. Cleveland's response was blunt honesty. He publicly admitted responsibility and paid child support. Voters ultimately respected the honesty. He won anyway. President Warren Harding carried on an affair with a much younger woman, non-Britton, reportedly including encounters inside a small White House closet. Britton later wrote a tell-all book about the affair and their daughter, decades before DNA testing existed to confirm it. In 2015, DNA testing finally proved she had been telling the truth all along. FDR's wife Eleanor discovered love letters revealing her husband's affair with her own social secretary, Lucy Mercer, in 1918. Eleanor offered him a divorce. Roosevelt's political advisors warned that divorce would destroy his career. The couple stayed married, but their relationship afterward became more of a political partnership than a romance. Remarkably, Lucy Mercer was present with Roosevelt on the day he died in 1945. During World War II, General Eisenhower's personal driver, K. Summers B., became his close companion throughout the war. Their relationship's exact nature is still debated by historians, but their closeness was documented enough that Eisenhower reportedly considered leaving his wife, Mamie, for her, a request General George Marshall firmly discouraged, citing the political damage it would cause. Perhaps the most famous alleged affair in American celebrity history, while never definitively confirmed with the same certainty as some others on this list, extensive circumstantial evidence, including Monroe's famous, breathy rendition of Happy Birthday, sung directly to Kennedy in 1962, has fueled widespread historical belief in the relationship. For over 60 years, a second Hamilton entry, this one more suspected than confirmed. Hamilton's surviving letters to his wife's sister, Angelica Schuyler, contain unusually intimate, flirtatious language for in-laws of that era. Most historians believe it was likely an emotional affair or extremely close friendship, rather than a physical one, but the letters themselves are real and genuinely startling to read today. Before becoming president, Woodrow Wilson carried on an extensive, years-long correspondence with a married woman named Mary Hulbert Peck. Wilson later admitted the relationship to his own wife. The letters were nearly used against him during his eventual presidential campaign, but were ultimately kept quiet enough to avoid derailing his political career. Aaron Burr, Hamilton's infamous dueling rival, was widely known in his era for numerous affairs and a scandalous personal reputation, which political opponents used relentlessly to damage his public standing, contributing to the broader rivalry that eventually led to his fatal duel with Hamilton in 1804. While serving as America's ambassador to France during the Revolutionary War, elderly Benjamin Franklin became famous throughout Parisian high society for his flirtatious relationships with several French women, most notably Madame Brilliant and Madame Helvetius. Historians largely view these as genuine, if unconventional, romantic entanglements, conducted remarkably while representing the entire fledgling United States abroad. A more modern political scandal that reshaped presidential campaign coverage forever. In 1987, presidential frontrunner Gary Hart challenged reporters to follow him if they doubted his fidelity. They did, and photographed him with Donna Rice aboard a yacht named, almost too perfectly, Monkey Business. His campaign collapsed within days, and political journalism was never quite the same afterward. One of the most consequential scandals in modern presidential history, President Bill Clinton's affair with White House intern Monica Lewinsky, led directly to his impeachment by the House of Representatives in 1998, only the second U.S. president in history to be impeached. He was later acquitted by the Senate and completed his term. We end where we began. After Hamilton's public confession and his eventual death in the duel with Aaron Burr, his wife Eliza Hamilton did something remarkable. Rather than let his legacy be defined by scandal, she spent the next 50 years of her life preserving his historical reputation, raising funds for his memory, and even helping found one of America's first private orphanages. Scandal was not the end of the story for her. It was simply one difficult chapter in a much longer one. Notice something about nearly every name on this list. Most of these affairs didn't destroy the people involved. Hamilton's career survived his confession. Cleveland won his election, anyway. Roosevelt led the country through a depression and a world war. Clinton finished his term. American history isn't a story of perfect people. It's a story of deeply flawed, deeply human people who built a country anyway, mistakes and all. History textbooks like to present these figures as marble statues, distant, perfect, untouchable. But behind almost every one of them was a real person, capable of the same mistakes, temptations, and heartbreaks as anyone else. If one of these stories surprised you, let us know which one in the comments below. And if you want more hidden history like this, subscribe, because next time we're uncovering the secrets small-town America tried hardest to keep buried.